What's going on, people of YouTube? This is my cinematography unit. Let's get started. Here's the review. The main idea behind the project was I wanted to learn how to use a DSLR camera. I then wanted to try a little cinematography and learn how angles work as well as lighting. For the first time in forever, I see it on schedule and didn't feel rushed finished. I did learn the concept of the camera first, but then I went straight into filming and I didn't know what I was doing or anything. Most of it I'm too embarrassed to show you, but here's one clip. Found these tulips and just pulled out my camera, focused on them, and the wind was blowing. Here's the camera I used. It was the Canon EOS Rebel T3, and it's an older camera, but it's a really good one. I learned about ISO and angles. I also learned how to adjust the aperture and manual focusing. So learning the concept. After some time, I realized that my shots were horrible and I'm too embarrassed to show them. I then decided it was time to do some digging. Mrs. Dink showed me about Roger Deakins and his many successes. He adds light and depth, solid shots, and they look amazing. I took this into consideration the rest of the project. Here's Roger Deakins. He's done a lot of movies. The main thing I took away from him is the depth, I guess. So in this picture up in the right corner, you have the soldier really close to you, and then you have the bombs in the background, so that adds depth to the story. I also use these other tools. There's my camera again. Cinematography.org is a community for cinematography, and you learn about lighting and it's basically Yahoo or ask.com for cinematographers. And I also use YouTube's. Yes, resources are great, but there's something like cinematography, you just have to learn it yourself. No one is going to tell you exactly how to do something. It just has to be appealing to the eye. Now we get into my cinematography. So basically with this, there's so many different kinds of movies and different things that you can use cinematography, or different genres you can use cinematography towards. And so it's basically, you gotta make your own, is what I'm trying to say. So here's when I'm trying to add depth. I used a shoe in the foreground and then a person in the background, blurred, to give it depth, and I know my camera was shaky. This one is when I was at Coronado Heights and I was trying to manually change the focus while I was moving it, and it turned out, I think it turned out pretty good, but I was still getting used to the focusing on it. Here's another one, and you can see that there's a person in the background who's kind of blurred, and we're focusing on his fingers and how they move. Time well spent. I went up to Coronado Heights a total of 3 times and stayed there for a couple hours each time. Twice I shot time lapses, which you'll see, and one of those times I shot other varying shots, like the tree shot, the changing of the focus changing shot that you saw a couple of minutes ago. While on the third time, I took pictures of my dog to help me set up my ISO and shooting it in daylight. And my dog's pictures are edited because I got a little carried away. The first time lapse was a mistake by me. I set the camera on black and white setting so the beautiful colors of the sunset didn't show. The second one, I was at the castle and cars kept driving by, and a farmer was burning his field, all factors I did not want. So here are the time lapses. and then my camera died, so it didn't go all the way down. Indoor and outdoor lighting. I got a handout how to light a person, and then I tried to replicate it. It was hard because I had to snap pictures of myself. Their first some are blurry. You'll see them later. I then took my dog out to Coronado Heights, like I said, and worked on ISO changing in the environment. One shot looks like it was at nighttime, but actually ISO was just down all the way and giving it a certain glow, and I'll point that out for you. So here's my indoor lighting setups. I used the back wall, and I tried to have a backlight as well as a floodlight in front of me. Here's what the indoor lighting looked like. So I experimented with hard and soft lights, angles of light, and different backlights. So you can see in the picture on the left, the backlight is more towards the left of me if you're looking at me, and it's more of a yellow, while on the one on the bottom right, it's more of a white one. Also, the one on the top right, you can see that I used a harsher floodlight on my face. That's what it illuminates. So here's my dog in the outside. I was trying to change the ISO. I just used my dog as a subject. So here's the one I was talking about with my ISO turned out all the way. I was out at Coronado Heights, maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I saw the sun between these trees, and I turned my ISO all the way down, and I thought it looked like the night, but it was really not, and so I thought that was pretty cool. So I strung clips together. I kind of wanted to make something just to make it, and so I kind of made a short clip here for cinematography. I had to blow this leaf across because there was no wind blowing. And there's no music, and I apologize for that. Yep, that's my project. Thanks for watching.